Hey people, it's me, Terrenceville, once again. How y'all doing today? I'm doing good. I'm trying to put up more videos, it seems like. Especially when I need to talk to myself about stuff, when I actually have something to talk to about. Usually I just talk to myself, but hey, might as well talk to you people. Not that I don't like y'all, but might as well talk to y'all. Today, I don't know if this is a video response or just a video on my channel, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of both. But I was watching Philip DeFranco. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, does news and stuff like that. And he asked this question about how internet, like blogs and stuff like that, can either lead to like mass slander or would it be good just being able to have freedom of speech? And that's anywhere, not just America. And the reason he said because Russia put through a law that people on the internet that say pretty much that has 300,000 or more like followers or viewers or whatever blog, I mean like Twitter and stuff like that. If you have over 300,000, you have to register with the Russian government. And I'm gonna come at this from 2 points of view because I don't like it when government puts a foot into something that has no problem. Like the government in general puts a foot into stuff like blogs and Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts and all that stuff just to get like popularity for the government. It's understandable if you want popularity for the government and you hire somebody to manage that Facebook account or something like that. But when it comes to like something that's personal, like a blog, a Twitter account or something like that, and you hiring people to make yourself look better, that just seems dumb. And then I can see in the government needs its hand in some things because there's a lot of illegal stuff that goes on the internet. But there's a lot of stuff that they will never know what happened if they focus on the internet. Like, okay, child porn should not be a thing. All this stuff, it's just a lot of stuff in that category. Illegal stuff, selling stuff that's illegal in the place you are should not be legal. But when it comes to an account on somebody's site, just because what they say, even if people are influenced by what they say, it's still not your say to delegate what they say or be under like fire just because you a government. Governments are built by people. People don't understand. Like that's why I don't understand that. Why people are so afraid of their governments. Governments are built by people. If there were no people, there'd be no government. Just put it that way. There'd just be a whole bunch of people in charge making money for themselves. That's all it would be. And they would not make any money because there are no people to make the government money. That's why they're trying to make it so hard for people to leave their own country. Countries that they're born in, they're making it so hard for people to leave those countries. Simply because if you don't have people, you can't have a government. You can't be in charge of land and land only. You need people to work that land. You need people to make money for that land, especially this one. America, Russia, all the things. And if you put your hand into something, that's like taking somebody's journal that they've been writing for however long and saying you have to register this with the government to be able to write for yourself. Even like me, I make these videos for me. I don't care if anybody watches me or not. I appreciate the people who do watch me, but I make them for me because I like doing it. Nobody has to watch my videos, they just do. And it's understandable, and some people like the stuff I say, some people don't. I don't give a shit. But when it comes down to it, I make this for me. If I had to register with the government to make videos on YouTube, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I'm on YouTube because I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and all those fucking shits because I can say whatever the fuck I want. Nobody's gonna censor me. Nobody's gonna sit back and be like, oh, you can't say this, or you have to look at this company or this company in a positive light, especially if you don't like it. Like, you know how all those people have sponsors for their videos and they have stuff like that, and to have that sponsor, they can't say whatever the hell they want to say? I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't. If you gonna sponsor me, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. I'm not going to censor myself just because you don't like it. That's why most of the people I listen to, or the people I watch on YouTube, they have their sponsors, they have their things. But the thing is, the companies that they be with, let them say whatever they want. Because it's one thing to be professional. It's another thing to be like just censored for no reason. No, I'm not going to let nobody do that to me. And it bothers me because the Russian government is trying to basically censor people. These people ain't even getting paid. They're trying to censor people just because they're the government. My understanding is, how are you going to manage that? You going to go lock up everybody that ain't fucking registered with you? You going to find the people, and the basic point of it, you going to find these people and do what to them? It's illegal, and do what to them? Throw them in jail because they said something about their government? They're just going to make people hate their government because they're not going to be able to say what they want to say. Because to my knowledge, isn't Russia a democracy a little bit, I think? Or is they still on that communism type of thing? No clue. But I don't know much about Russia. But when I say this, when you censor your people, the people ain't gonna stand it for long. Because let's put it this way. If America passes any law, any fucking law, without the people's fucking like input or stuff like that, and I mean like it's a serious law that quiets people for no reason, that makes people be quiet, because people are loud. We are loud. Humans are going to leave their footprint on this planet no matter what, whether it's bad, good, or in the middle. People are going to leave it. But one thing I know for Americans, black, white, of any country, if you born and raised in America, one thing we is not going to take lightly is sitting and being quiet. We're not. Everybody in the world thinks America is loud and intrusive. Everybody knows that. Our people are more so. But we do that in our problems, not governmental problems. But let's put it this way. If any law gets passed without, I mean like that just quiets people, that say you can't say what you want to say, that you can't do what you want to do. And I mean, like, as long as it's not illegal, but you have those basic rights as an American to be able to say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do, as long as it's legal. If anybody tries to tread on those laws, we're going to go back to olden times where it'd be like, don't tread on me, goddammit. Because that's freedom of speech right there. Like most countries don't have that, but it's implied because they can say whatever they want to say. They can live with it, what they have, because they can say with whatever they want to say, whether it's about your government. Like right now, if I wanted to, I can go up to the president and say, "You're a shitty president." I might not think that entirely, but I can do that. As long as I don't harm him, as long as I don't do anything to him, I can sit in front of his face and say, "You're a shitty president." And if I knew how to refute and sit there and talk to him, I can still say it without no problem. I can say he's a shitty president. I ain't saying I think that. A lot of people think that. But if I wanted to say that to his face, I could. If I can get close enough. If every American could go up to Obama and say what they want to say, they could say anything they wanted to say. They can threaten his life. People in America, that's one thing I like about America. We are free to an extent. We are free to an extent. Because people say you can do this, you can say whatever you want, but nobody takes threats lightly. That's one thing that America don't deal with no more. Threats. Where you threaten a person, where you threaten this, that, and the other. That's one thing I would have to say that infringes on the Second Amendment. You can't threaten people. You can't, like, even on the internet, I don't understand. I understand why they saying like they don't take those threats on like bomb and shit lightly. I understand that. We've been through, America as a country has been through a whole lot of bombings and shit like that. We don't take that lightly, and I understand that. But you won't get rid of my rights. Freedom of speech is a thing, but a threat is a totally different level. But that's why I don't understand what changes in your mind. What changes you as a country to be like, oh, I don't want these people saying nothing bad about our country. Because passing that law as a Russia, as a country, people gonna hate that country. People not gonna want to go there because they already did the little gay people thing. They already said no gay people in Russia. You can't come out in Russia. They already did that. That's already one level of hate for a country. And then on top of that, people can't say what they want to say even on the internet. That's dumb. That's really dumb, and it makes your tourism go down. Like in the next few years, Russia is gonna lose a lot of money. Because Russia is a beautiful place. I'm not going to lie. Russia, I wanted to go to Russia a long time. Moscow, Siberia, all those places. Wanted to go there because it is a beautiful place because it's part of Earth. It's a beautiful place. But when you make it so a certain kind of people, just because you don't like those people, a certain kind of people can't be there, or on top of that, can't say what they want to say while they're there, they're not going to want to come. And then it's going to make people want to leave. It's dumb. It's 300. If I had 300,000 viewers on my videos, I would still say whatever the fuck I want to say. Through all the haters, through all the fucking people who tell me bad stuff about me. It's like saying to watch my channel, you have to register with me so I can know it's you saying shit about me. That's dumb. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. You as a government should not give a fuck what your people have to say. Because y'all is running things. You make their life better in your mind. In your mind, their life is better because they can't say what they want to say. And that's wrong. But you do make their life better because, like, Social Security, stuff like that, all that type of stuff, you make their life better in some ways. You originally got into politics to help people. You ain't get into politics just to make money. You ain't get into politics just to do this, that, and the other. You did it to help people. But when it comes down to it, and if you look back when people started as politicians, do you think that they would, like, see themselves as they see themselves now? Because people, I don't think half the politicians like George Bush got into it just to get rich. It's like it run in his family, but when he said I wanted to go be a politician, his father probably had a lot of influence, but still, when I wanted to go be a politician, it wasn't like, oh, I want to screw people over. No. I want to make it seem like I'm the shit when I'm not. No. All these people going through all these politicians going through these problems. This is why I don't trust politicians, because they don't look out for people. They don't look out for the people they're supposed to help. They put us deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole that's not supposed to be there. And that's why I can never go to Russia, because I can never go almost anywhere, because half the places don't have as an inalienable right to say whatever the fuck they want to say. That's why I love America. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. Fuck everybody. In every country. Of every skin color. Of every religion. I can say that because I'm an American. In some countries, you say something bad about anybody. Anybody in power. Anybody that has a little smidgen of power, and they could throw you in jail. And I don't get it. Like, in school, we was raised to the judicial, executive, and I forgot the other one. Those three branches, when it seemed like they have power, but they don't have power, and there's something behind it. They told us about those three things. And they told us about how votes for the president go through. And to my understanding, we vote our vote don't mean shit, to my understanding. And I may be, and it might be me being stupid, but when I learned in school is that we vote, and then like a whole bunch of other people vote, but they votes count, but ours really don't. They take into account who we voted for, but they don't say who they voted for. We just know who won. That's pretty much my understanding. And I may be wrong, I may be stupid, but that's what we was taught in school. The electoral college thing, they vote counts. Our vote don't count. Because who got time to go through everybody vote in one day? Nobody does. Even if you vote all day, even if you vote every single day electronically and they count up who votes it is, ain't nobody got time to go through all this shit. And ain't nobody is. But when it's like 3-4 people from each state voting, that's easy. That's why I don't like governments. I don't like my government, but I understand our government is the best government in the world. Not because of our military, not because of our judges. We may have our flaws. Our government may have its flaws, but we got a lot better than most places. A lot of places. Some places in other countries, government don't even reach. They just have a person in charge, and if you go against that person in charge, they'll chop your fucking head off. But when it comes to stuff involving the internet, I don't want nobody to touch it. I like the internet the way it is. I understand that the American government and any government takes threats toward anybody. Take your threat seriously, because where it comes from bombing, where it comes from killing folks, where it comes from doing this, that, and the other, or shooting up schools, damn right, get their ass. Sit their ass down, put them ass in lockup, playing or not. That's not something you play about. Like when you was little and you got a whooping for something you weren't supposed to do and said I was just playing. No, it's something you shouldn't be playing about, so don't do that shit. Like when I was little, if I said I hated my sister and didn't mean it, I got my ass beat. Like, you don't hate your sister. You don't play like that. No. And when it comes, I love the internet the way it is, because you can do pretty much whatever you want to a certain extent. You can do whatever the fuck you want to a certain extent. But they trying to make laws but it seems like every law I read about infringes on freedom of speech in some way. It puts the government too far into something that they have no business being into. And maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think there should be people for the government, like there probably are, people for the government looking after for people. I ain't saying like taking complete control of the internet, but like just looking after people, making sure nothing bad's happening, making sure nothing really illegal is happening, and at least tell people about it. I ain't talking about like the NSA did, stealing information. I mean like me and you do, just browsing the internet, looking for stuff, having fun, doing their own little thing, and then you come across something like, I'm going to blow up this airport. Get that motherfucker. Or you come across somebody like, I'm going to shoot up this school. I'm going to download some kiddie porn. Shit like that. Or like, just don't mess with nothing. If somebody gets caught and reported to the police, then you go in. Because that's when the government should get involved. When it's reported to them. Because like most likely the reason like Silk Road and stuff was taken down, not because the government just said, oh, let's find this motherfucker, and went to the site and found their IP address and stuff like that, because Silk Road is really hard to get to. Just as the internet. Somebody linked it to somebody else, who linked it to somebody else, who linked it to somebody else, and the next person was a cop. And was like, oh, we got these bitches. That's understandable. That's a cop doing his job. But when it comes down to like people peeping on other people, no, that's like back in the olden cartoons, when you would have those ladies in their house changing, and it'd be that dude in the tree with binoculars. That's what the government is trying to be when it comes to the internet. It's illegal, and they know it's illegal, but they're still going to do it because they think it's keeping us safe. No, that's not keeping us safe. That's you being a peeping Tom. But if you happen to come across something that is illegal on the internet, there should be people searching. I wouldn't even say searching. There should be people watching the internet. No information is coming through. No bad stuff is coming through from either end. You ain't going into people's stuff. You ain't going into people's private stuff. You ain't going hacking into people's pages and shit like that. You looking around the internet like a regular person. Because if you looking around the regular internet like a regular person and you happen upon something, you find something that is illegal, and you're a cop or you're an NSA agent, that's what you do. That's your job, to stop illegal stuff. But that is not your job to peep on people. It's not your job to look into stuff that's not your problem. Like if somebody on Facebook said, "Oh, I'm gonna fight this bitch," and you go over the top and go to their house and go into their pages and find out where they live just so you can arrest them for fighting, that's too far. But if you find a link to Silk Road, you report it to your superior officer, you see the shit, you go in the site and be like, "Oh, we have to stop this." Do what regular people do. The people that have their IP address on the internet, because IP address is easy to come by. It's not hard to find. Like American whatever that airline was who got a bomb threat on Twitter. They got a bomb threat on Twitter. They sent their IP address to the FBI, and the FBI went and got her ass. That's what the fuck she get. That's a threat. You shouldn't do that, not especially on airplanes. But some stuff is not needed. Some internet input, some internet stuff is just taking it too far, like the NSA stuff. But me personally, that's like with marriage and fucking government and religion. People say there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. In America, this is supposed to here there is a separation of church and state. That means there's a separation between your religion of any kind and your government in America. Two separate things. Why the fuck would it even come across American minds to make gay marriage illegal? Why would that be illegal? Marriage is marriage. Marriage is religion. Marriage has nothing to do with state. Marriage is religion. The only thing different that comes with getting married is like tax breaks and stuff like that. But the reason people don't want that to be a thing because they don't want gay people to get the same tax breaks as regular married people, and that's still separation of church and state because marriage has always and always will be religion. It has a hand in government because that's people who have kids together, that's people who has financial stuff, and they consider as together. That's the only thing that should come with church and state. But that's something totally different. That is something totally different. And I don't see how people get that mixed up. Because that's how it's always been since the beginning of America. Well, I wouldn't say since the beginning of America. Since all those treaties and laws have put in, separation of church and state has always been a thing. That's why I don't get it. Because when people say that, shouldn't marriage and gay people go under that thing so they can't at all in any way make it illegal? Because that's church and state. Well, that's in my mind. I may be stupid and somebody can explain this better to me. But in my mind, separation of church and state means marriage and government has almost nothing to do with each other besides the tax breaks. Because if that's what people are fighting over, you got better fucking things to do. Just saying. But it's just like that. The internet and the government should be separate into a point. Until something illegal comes their way, into some big problem, some threats against the airports or bombing and shit like that. To a certain point, the internet and the government should be separate. The government is one of the few things that the internet is one of the few things I think the government should have almost no part in, because people make the internet better. That's one thing I know. If there weren't people on the internet, nobody would be on the internet, because that's what makes the internet better. The content of the internet makes it better. Nothing about the government makes the internet better. People, companies, stuff like that, that's what makes the internet better. Where like you can buy stuff from Amazon, you can buy stuff from Mancrate, you can get your phone through Ting, you can go on Reddit and find whatever, Stumble, Facebook, MySpace, Bebo, anything. That stuff, that the people who made that stuff make the internet better. If the government came and infringed on that and made it, it'll make it so much worse. There are some bad stuff on the internet. There's some disgusting stuff on the internet. There are some horrible things in the depths of the internet. But somebody likes that stuff. People make that stuff. Where it's to laugh, where it's to cry tears of joy, where it's to buy, where it's to shop, commerce, all that stuff makes the internet a great place to be. And I hope it never changes. Because if the internet and the government became like managed by each other, it would be a horrible thing, because it'll be so many less people that make this good stuff because the internet is infringed by the government. Like if the internet had if the government had more hand in the internet these days, I think it would suck. Because I think like half the people that's on the internet that I like would not be there, because it'll be something they would have to do. They're trying to make people pay taxes just because they're on the internet. They have people doing this, that, and the other, having to pay or having to do this or having to do that just because they're on the internet. And I don't like that. I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like people that start companies based off what they do on the internet, that's understandable. You can tax that. That's your company. That's you. You starting your own business. But if I had to pay to make this to the government, it's like I know I can pay to make this better through YouTube. I know I can pay to make this better through YouTube. And I would, but I would hate to pay the government to make this better. What not even make it better? To pay the government to make this same stuff I'm making. No, I wouldn't want to pay for that. I wouldn't even want to be a part of that. And that's just me. But the moral of this story is, please, for the life of me, don't do shit to the internet. The internet is, as it is now, is almost perfect. There are some little kinks that need to be worked out, but the internet as it is now, and I don't mean like the people who sell the internet to people, but the internet that as it is now is fucking great as it is now. Don't change, because if you change, it's either gonna make things worse, and it ain't gonna get better from there. So I hope it don't change. I didn't link some awesome stuff in my last video, but I tried this video. I'm gonna link Rooster Teeth because they the shit. Philip DeFranco because he's awesome. He just had a kid now. Yeah, it's cute. And who else? And PewDiePie. Why not? Because a lot of people hate him, but a lot of people like him. So hey, yeah. But yeah, this has been the Best Returns video, aka Setsu. See ya.